Hi, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, and share the video if you found it helpful and you think it would be helpful to someone else. Be mindful of when you go out and about and how narcissists tend to try to draw you into their mess. They're constantly looking for an audience. They constantly need someone to cheerlead for them. And I'm going to show you a case in point. I was in McDonald's today, and I know I'm trying to go without that garbage as much as I can. I normally order the fries, but in this case, I was in there to get some coffee because the drive-thru was so long. So I walk in and I wait for my turn to go up and order. In the meantime, there's a young lady that comes in. Well, she's an older lady, probably in her 30s. And of all things, she has scrubs on, nursing scrubs. And she begins to just go on this little under her breath rant about something that was not right. She said, I think the dispenser over there with the soft drink came out looking like, she used some kind of derogatories, like it was something that you wouldn't digest. And so I immediately observed just by her verbiage that she was not happy with the situation, nor was she happy with herself. And this is something you will pick up on very quickly as an empath awakened. You know that this rant has no reason or no rhyme, no logic, because if there's an issue, the logical thing to do would be to go and address it and bring it to the attention of the worker at the McDonald's. But to go on a rant and start, berating and talking down on the establishment, this is what narcissists do. They're always complaining. And they'll say, empaths are complaining. No, what we are doing, we are concerned. We are concerned and we talk about our concerns. They complain and they have no stake in the game. They have no chips in the game of life. They're just complaining for attention. That's why I tell you, when they get into these things such as raising money in these functions where it's donations and stuff, be mindful and stuff like that, because they will extract some, if not all, the money. They'll start a GoFundMe for somebody and the money will never be seen. They're treacherous people. So back to story. She began to, she went up and addressed this issue to the young lady at the cash register. And these young girls, they're young and they're just petrified. They're moving as fast as they can. And this is all across the board. Wherever you live, I'm sure you see it, you sense it, you feel it. People are just sick of working. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but with inflation and different things, and not to mention the darkness in the atmosphere, that's really what's going on. But a lot of people can't put their finger on it. It's just a very dark, stifling energy in our world today. And that's because we have a pervasive overthrow of darkness. And this is narcissistic overthrow. That's why we are awakened. We need to come full front and center and make sense out of this nonsense so we may help and wake somebody up who's otherwise asleep. So she ranted to this girl and the girl continued to go on. She acknowledged her to say, silently, indirectly saying, I get it. Okay. And went back and continued to try to get the drive-through orders done, because it's only I think it was only 2 individuals working up front where the orders were being taken. And I'm sure there were some people back there making the burgers or whatnot, but it was only 2 people up front. And that is a very overwhelming thing. And so they have to pump their brakes because of this individual on this little rant about something about the dispenser. And so this other individual female was over there at the register waiting to order. And is asked what she wants. She immediately grabs her phone and say, hold on. And she has to call somebody to consummate whatever the order was, because she doesn't even know what she's there for. It's ironic because she was standing there for 3-4 minutes. I know it happens. You know, we get a fog and we like, oh, let me call. But it was kind of like she waited until she got up there and then began to get on the phone. But more importantly, this girl that was ranting over there about the soft drink machine looked over in her direction and began to divulge whatever her complaint was to this individual. And believe it or not, this individual that was complaining got this girl hook, line, and sinker. And it didn't take much, because you could see they were on that same dark time. They were on that same complaining vibration. And so this is what happens. A narcissist will look around and scan the room, and they will look for somebody to either take part in their foolishness or to cheerlead for them. And in this case, this girl partook in this conversation, and they both went on a little under their breath rant. But the important thing to that is when they began to pledge allegiance to each other, they will be talking and complaining, but looking around in their establishment. And they looked my way on several occasions. But again, I told you, I was already on top of this, and I knew what kind of energy was going on with this. You know, in a food establishment, you have a choice. You can either eat there or not eat there. I have my qualms about McDonald's, but I don't voice them openly to the workers there. I mean, I know, and this is because of the food that I believe is not really food, and but everyone knows that, and that's a concern. Empaths are concerned. We don't complain. Rarely do we complain. We speak our concerns, but I still would not disrespect and disparage anybody working, preparing my food. That's just insanity. And so they began to go back and forth with each other, talking in unison about what they didn't like about the establishment. But the one girl, you know, obviously you can tell she loves McDonald's, but at the same time you hate McDonald's. Isn't that how it works with the narcissists? They like you, but they hate you. They're so conflicted. They're so hypocritical. But they're looking for attention. This is the whole premise of why they do what they do. Nothing is really a problem, as the narcissist claims it is, because it's all a demonstration to gain clout, attention, adoration, and admiration. But it's sickening in the way that they try to get attention. And so they're scanning over in my direction, and I'm kind of just looking off like this. I'm not even one thing you don't want to do is make eye contact with these narcissists. They are deeply disturbed. And you may say, well, okay, just based on that behavior does not determine that they are a narcissist. I'll tell you this, at the very least, they are toxic. They are toxic. I didn't do a full diagnosis. I don't need to. What I'm trying to say, empath chosen one, you must deem toxicity dark energy, whether you determine they're a narcissist or not. You know why you must do this? Because before you know it, you're on that wave. You're on that wave along with them. And the wave you're on, you don't need to get on that different wave. You need to keep the wave that you have. The wave of elevation, education, and vibrating high. I mean, you're standing there in this establishment waiting to make your order. You damn sure don't need dark energy talking down against the food that you're almost about to order. You get where I'm coming from? These people show up and they make a big deal about nothing. A big deal about nothing. And it's disgusting. And for the most part, what was so disgusting, like I said before, these young, often teenage girls, whether they're teenager or adults, they're preparing your food. You go and you yell and you scream and you get belligerent to these workers there, like they have a magic wand to make everything right for you. You have every right to go and address the concern to them. But in how you do it is the key, you know. We all get upset. We all get a little bit agitated. But you got to pull yourself together. But these individuals I'm talking about, they have no self-control. They actually have no self-respect. Because if you had self-respect, you don't know how silly you look in this establishment talking in the sense the way you was talking. And then she began to talk to this girl some more about as they were waiting on their food when they noticed that nobody was cheerleading for them. They were left to themselves. And so you could see they shift the conversation. This is what they do. Shift that conversation about that complaint that was so bad. And they noticed that they didn't have nobody to champion them on. They didn't have an audience. So they shift gears. And then it comes back to me, them. And the one began to say, the one with the scrubs on, she said, oh, yeah. She said, I work at the nursing home, blah, 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 blah. So she's giving her little spiel of what she does and where she works. And then she said she works at another one. And I was like, oh, she's bouncing around. She works between 2 different nursing homes. Now, you have to understand, if this individual has this much of a complaint about a soft drink dispenser, to which they do run empty sometimes. Is all it is carbonated. It's carbonation with food coloring and sweetener or whatever it is. And so they run out. Just kindly ask them, make it known to them that one has ran out. And just to make note of that. It's just like I go in the bathroom and I'll see that the soap dispenser is empty. And I just politely say, the men's room is out of soap. Just thought maybe I'd let you know. That's all you have to do. Civility is what it's called, being civil. And so she began to talk about these 2 jobs that she had. And I just shook my head in disbelief. And I was like, there we go again. That's why I talk about these nurses or these people, these girls in the scrubs, not so much the nurses themselves. And I've had a lot to say about that. But again, all you nurses that make a difference in the workforce and in the healthcare world, you all are making a difference. This doesn't apply to you. We're talking about dark, disturbed individuals that are in the nursing field that'll put a pair of scrubs on, running their asses down there to the hospital, creating more problems than are already there. So this whole video is simply to tell you, when you're in an environment or situation and you see or you perceive that this toxic person is going on a rant, what they're doing is they're trying to draw you into this rant. They're trying to draw you into this. And before you know it, you'll be nodding your head. And even if you don't nod in agreement, when you make eye contact with these people, they have you locked in. They have you locked in because you will make some type of response. You will respond to whatever their little rant is. They'll possibly hit you with a question or a statement to which you will either say, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Which to that point, it will start, they will go in on you. And you don't need it. You just don't need it. You don't need it, because if you don't get on their side, you become the enemy. And what you do is you just casually look around and you kind of glance back at them and you look around. What you're doing, you're signaling to them that you're not interested in that. You don't have a horse in that race. That being said, bless.